One of our followers has forwarded a problem to us. We are all of the same opinion that rape and other forms of physical assault are horrific crimes in view of everything that has been going on recently. We all want violent offenders to be locked up, but I can't help but feel that in this environment, logic, evidence, and data are getting somewhat muddled up in the process. You are on our side in combating this mentality that, in all honesty, causes far more problems than it solves. Therefore, my question to you is how we can best stand up for the significance of due process and the presumption of innocence, while also doing what we can to support survivors. Specifically, I want to know how we can best accomplish this while also ensuring that we do what we can. Therefore, I believe there is actually a third question that I need to answer, but you didn't even ask it. I will begin by addressing the first two, and then move on to the third, which is something that I believe is implied by the first two. When it comes to standing up for due process, the answer is that we actually do need to stand up for it even in situations in which it makes us uncomfortable or even where we believe that the person may be responsible for something bad. This is the answer to the question of whether or not we should do so. Because if due process is denied to one person, it is denied to everyone, which is plainly problematic when it comes to defending those who have survived a physical assault. I am of the opinion that we ought to accord the principle of taking everyone's first account with the regard that it merits. It involves not ignoring anything or playing something down, but it also requires asking the right questions to get at the truth, which does not mean scaring other people. It does not imply labeling someone as liars when there is no proof that they are, nor does it mean making fun of them when it is evident that they are wrong. It does not imply engaging in any of those activities. My only knowledge is that the appropriate legal procedure dictates that such and such must take place. Now, the real answer to a lot of what's happening. And here's the very unpopular part, with the left breaking conventional mores in regard to relations between the genders that ruined them. Now, the true answer in the end to a lot of what's happening. Therefore, the initial concept was that men should behave honorably and chivalrously toward women in the context of safeguarding them, and that women should look for partnerships in the same way that men do. At the very least, the amount of time spent engaging in physical exercise was expected to be restricted. Committed relationships, especially marriage, were believed to be the only ones worthy of being considered an ideal. When you don't teach men how to protect women, a large proportion of men do not live up to that standard, but a significant number of men do. If women are not taught that they should value and appreciate men who are responsible and good, then they are more likely to attract men who would use them as victims. You will only succeed in encouraging inappropriate behavior in men if you take this approach. When they said that males are acting like pigs, members of the feminist movement were not entirely wrong. When they said that the solution to our issue would be for women to behave more like pigs, they were mistaken in their assessment of the situation. Because what has just transpired is that they have done away with all of the traditional mores that dictated how closely intimacy ought to be associated with love and how it should not be associated with partnerships. They were successful in removing all of that. Now, it was simply a function of the body, with the exception of situations involving genuine physical violence. Obviously, we treat this biological function differently than any other one, but the fact that they generate this problem is the reason why. The standard according to which intimacy is basically a throwaway sort of item, and then the way in which we treat intimacy very differently when it comes to what we all know it to be, namely a profoundly important and personal component of a person's life. We make an effort to sneak in criteria of consent that, to be very honest, don't make any sense in the context of actual life. You need a yes means yes standard in which you have a legal checklist. This is what you require. I think that before doing anything in the bedroom, you are required to inquire as to whether or not you are permitted to touch the other person's hand. Do you mind if I put my hand on your shoulder? It has never once led to the actual fulfillment of a physical meeting in any way, shape, or form. Marriage was the most wonderful thing that could possibly happen to a woman. It is a wonderful thing for guys as well, since it helps them become more civilized. It shapes them in that way. It teaches kids to be guardians of their family, to look out for the well-being of others, to think beyond themselves and their own generation, and to care about the well-being of future generations. Women gave up the concept that a commitment was going to come along with this intimacy when they got married. And they also gave up the ability to teach men how to do those things when they got married. Let's be honest about this topic. Each and every research study that has ever been conducted in the field of science has conclusively demonstrated that women genuinely do enjoy greater levels of intimacy within the setting of committed partnerships. The nonsense that you read in magazines about sleeping with 100 different guys and still feeling satisfied in your sexual life is just that. Garbage. It is utter, unmitigated rubbish of the highest order. The answer is not to provide a lengthy response to a straightforward question, but rather to instill the traditional roles of male and female while maintaining the same level of feminist respect that we should have for women at every stage of the process. That's all for today, guys. If you found value in this video, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button to get more dope content like this. Till next time.